Guru, a bouncer. Imagine DDP lost to Izzy and you try and get him with a fake and he slams you on the ground. Yeah, I didn't want to be a bouncer because I was like, I'm bigger than a lot of these bouncers in the UK. And I had like black belt in Taekwondo on my CV. So I was like, this would be good to get me into being a bouncer. I even had on my CV 100 meters in like 11 seconds or so, not 11, like 12 or 13 seconds. Or just saying. I think I ran like a 12.5 second 100 meters when I was younger. I put it on my CV when I was trying to be a bouncer. Either way. I know older guys lurk in the chat. But you guys might be working, though. That's the thing. A lot of you guys just put me on in the background while you're working. You know what I think the average MMA Guru viewer does? Leaves me playing on the side while they do other things, probably. I get that a lot. I think that's the main thing people do. People either do driving and they're like listening while they're driving, or someone's just left me on the side, or they're literally on another tab playing a game or looking at something else, and I'm just talking in the background. That is probably the average MMA Guru listener. So I'm not going after all you, but some of these guys chronically in chat, like if you're 40, like, don't start calling me out for being 25. And I'm 26, by the way. My birthday recently. John doesn't have pics, but he may have proof showing Dana. You're 25, you don't know anything, Guru? That tells me that you're over 30 in MMA Guru's live chat on a Wednesday night. I ain't taking life advice from you. You're like 25. What are you, late 30s in my chat? Is that what you're saying? You know what I mean? It's too easy, man. Don't insult me, brother. I'll cook back. Everyone just enjoy chat, and if someone asks me for advice, I'll give it. Thank you for the $20 Fade TV. O'Malley will beat Merab via judges if he doesn't get finished, and it will spark a control time debate. He'll gap Merab on significant strikes every round while getting taken down. Merab usually loses the significant strike count. Thank you for the $20, dude. I appreciate that. True. People have got to realize as well, chat, I completely agree with you, Fade TV. They will massively talk about a control time debate if O'Malley outstrikes him. Second of all, yes or no, chat, early stoppage inbound. If Merab gets wobbled like he did against Moraes, he is not getting the chance to recover. I'm so sorry. If he gets wobbled like he did against Cejudo and then dropped after that for a second, they will step in. That needs to be mentioned as well when you're making predictions for this fight. They are going to look for an opportunity to jump in. They will. Aljo stoppage wasn't early. It was actually a bit late, I thought. But if he has him hurt, like stumbles him and then drops him and lands a few follow-ups, they're stopping the fight. They will not let his EPO carry him back up to his feet. If you were to do it, what's a game you would cast? Bro, every time I've said Dustin would win, you tell me that Colby would ragdoll him. Because Colby's man, and he ain't got grit or fight in him anymore. Sorry. He don't have it in him anymore. He don't have the grit to like, he doesn't trust his chin anymore. You know what Colby screams of, chat? I'm going to say this now. Doesn't Colby scream of a guy who's been KO'd a few times in the gym recently? After the Usman rematch and the Masvidal fight, and he got attacked afterwards, I feel like he went back to the gym and maybe didn't take shots the same way. That's how it felt in his Edwards fight. I feel like the Masvidal attack probably did actually kind of get him. And then he maybe went back to the gym and maybe didn't take shots the same way as he used to. He probably was a guy with a granite chin. And then now he feels like he's getting dropped a bit more often than he should be. And then maybe now that's why he's adjusted, you know. Oh, Will Curry. Yeah, Jesus Christ. Yeah, he's going to have to like step up on short notice at some point or something. That was awful. Awful, awful performance. No more Dana White's Contender Series shots, yeah. UK fighters in general look shit on the Contender Series, though. When fighters from the UK go straight to the UFC for whatever reason, they look really good. Vucenic looked great against Garam. Ian Gary went straight to the UFC. So did McGregor. If you look through all of the UK and Irish fighters that go straight to the UFC, they do a lot better than the ones that go through the Contender Series. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's just a shitty setup for a weight cut or some shit like that. But Typically, when they just go straight to the UFC, they do really well. Tom Aspinall. These guys don't go through the Contender Series. Or maybe UFC notices they're good enough to not have to. Maybe that's what it is. I watched back Vucenic Garam. I know Garam finished on his back at the end, but Vucenic beat his ass for the first 3 minutes of round 2. So, just saying. What do you think about getting some on the side while in a relationship? I think it's cowardly. If you want to pull off having multiple women, then pull off having multiple women. There's only wormy, soy lameness to cheating on a girl. If you're really a boss, have multiple women if you can pull it off. If you can't, don't go behind girls' backs. That's just scummy as fuck. And you're a lame if you do that because you're self-admitting that you can't pull off multiple women. Is there any hope for my Canada? Depends if you make a stand, brother. Depends what you do. Depends what you have. Not all of you fans have the money to donate. Please read the general chat. I'm trying to, but then I would ignore your bitch ass telling me to. Because you ain't served no fucking purpose at all. But to hold the fucking chat up. You need to do this. How about you shut the fuck up and I'd have been able to do it right now. Thank you for the membership, X-Slears. Jesus. Anyway, does Rampage have news on Jones? No, he doesn't have news on Jones. I think Conor would have won that. Agreed, heavy nips. I have very tiny nips, actually. Tito opening a Red Onions company. But they're not red onions. They're just his chopped up white onions. Get your red onions. He's infected every single serving of regular onions with his blood. Get your red onions, guys. I'm telling you, he needs to open a shop on Huntington Beach called Ortiz's Cheese and Wine. Does he not? That is business. Ortiz's Cheese and Wine. And you go in there and the cheese is listed as one of them is an old mature and the other one is regular. That's money. There's like grapes dangling from the ceiling. So you got to reach for them. He could really make a business out of this because grapes make wine. You know what I'm saying? So you got to reach for them and you put them in the wine barrel and I don't know. Something like that, you know. He could do that. He tells the stories of old up above the shop. Yeah. He has like an insurance policy with customers that says, I've never let you down until now. Tito Ortiz, dude. With a violinist playing. Yeah, violin in the background, violin music. He could really, on a meme level, get some business out of that. I really do. Bloody onions, and they're just red onions. He sells red onions, you know. On Halloween, maybe he does a special. There's a lot of ideas you could go with that. How many days a week is he open? On 5 days, 2 days. There's just a nonsense sign on the wall that doesn't let you know when it's open. Yeah. Where does this place open? Let's look it up on Google reviews. It says that on 5 days, he does 2 days a week. And then 7 days, 3 days a week. Thank you for. There's so many options, and they would all go viral on Twitter that get hundreds of thousands of views. I think they would. There's a mic hanging in a doorway, so you get to head it on the way in and out. Yes, and it does a jingle as you come in and out. True. There's so many options for him when it comes to a shop. If he memed it, this is a good idea. Let me know, Tito. I'd love to do an interview. I've always wanted to do an interview with Tito, so I'll have to reach out someday. Food's so good, you'll outlive your children. Tito. It's time to play the game. Wop, wop, wop. You know what I can see happening with him and Ortega, yeah? Is I can see him submitting Ortega, you know? Might be some good value on that. Ortega, yeah? He gets takedowns, but he's so unathletic and slow that if you burst into something immediately, he often does nearly get caught by it. It is most likely by TKO, but I could see a sub from Lopez. Because sometimes Ortega thinks I've got them to the ground. We're in my world. And he doesn't switch on like he needs to. That's what happened with Yair. He just sort of thought, he's done now. And then, oh, my arm is in this position, you know? It's time to play the game. In Eskimo Bros with Ortega, I dated his ex for a summer. Ortega's never been TKO'd. I know. He's been hurt before a lot, though. He has been. He was TKO'd in the third round by Volk. Yes or no? He absolutely was. I have no idea. Well, actually, they illegally helped him back to his stall, which you're not allowed to do. But he was TKO'd at the end of the third round. That was a finished person. And then they just gave him like an extra 4 minutes of recovery. I had no idea how that happened and how they let that happen. They really add value on hoping Ortega would win that. That was pathetic. They gave him an extra minute of time or two, and he was laying on his back, and the corner team carried him to the stall. You have to get back up on your own and get to the stall. It's a part of the rule. So that was a bit weird. I enjoyed the extra beat down. Yeah, it was all right. It's time to play the game. Series, yeah, often it is. Guru, I've become addicted to the women's NBA. Help me. Whatever you did to get the brain damage, do it again. It might fix it.